everyone, I'm Ben Thomas. Welcome to a special edition of Vintage Mini Bike Lovers podcast. I have a special treat today. We have a special guest who has built this one amazing custom Bonanza chopper. And without any further ado, I'd like to present that chopper. This is the first reveal on the internet, more full reveal. This was actually first debuted in public at the Party at the Pen, which is the Ohio State Penitentiary where Shawshank Redemption was recorded. So let's add that video in, and we'll see you on the other side of that. Hello, everyone. I'm Ben Thomas. Welcome to a special edition of Vintage Mini Bike Lovers podcast. I have a special treat today. We have a special guest who has built this one amazing custom Bonanza chopper. And without any further ado, I'd like to present that chopper. This is the first reveal on the internet, more full reveal. This was actually first debuted in public at the Party at the Pen, which is the Ohio State Penitentiary where Shawshank Redemption was recorded. So let's add that video in, and we'll see you on the other side of that. Wow, that thing is absolutely amazing. And I would be surprised if some of you didn't already know who my special guest is. It's my honor and privilege to introduce to you Master Mini Bike Builder Extraordinaire, Ed Kubiez. Ed, thank you so much for joining me at Vintage Mini Bike Lovers.
Hi, Ben. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, it's my honor and privilege to have you here to talk about this custom build. And many of our viewers will probably be familiar with your other custom chopper that you've done a few years ago, which is featured on my page, and very, very popular. That one was considered in the community to be way over the top. What would you consider this one? This one's like way above and beyond the top. This is like from outer space.
and so the name, right?
Right.
So I was motivated. I was motivated to build a 60s style chopper, and of the era. In 1969, there was a song called Venus by Shock So that's what you see in front of you. You know, it's been a 3-year process, a lot of iterations of what to do with some of the styling cues to give it the correct balance and proportions and things of that nature. And I just recently finished it. A lot of you will probably see it at one of the mini bike shows this coming year. So
Great. Ed, we've lost your video feed, but let's keep going. We'll try to show some of the photos. Are you able to see
there's
them
Venus.
on your end, Ed?
So, you know, pretty unique is the plexiglass shroud window that I created. Part of that was so that you could see the jug of the engine, which is always covered. But I hand polished all those fins and did the jug more like you would typically see on a motorcycle. And that also gave the opportunity to put something else in there as a unique feature. And that's Venus. She's an alien woman that's attractive. She's got a double helmet on and she's blue and goes with the rest of the theme of the bike.
It's absolutely amazing. I'm back here.
There's another shot. So that's actually a light blue plexiglass, fairly translucent, but allows you to see, again, the engine jug and Venus herself.
Right. I think of the two comparison, the other one, it appeared like it was clear. So that you're saying is
there you
is
go.
a
You
light
could
blue.
kind of see the
Yeah.
couple different views. The plexiglass window was really not a difficult thing to do. I researched how to form plexiglass and followed it to a T and did not have a single issue. 15 minutes in the oven at 350 did it, and it conformed to the shape that I laid it upon. Fit the shroud perfectly. Okay, here's the indoor video. Couple of people I need to give credit to on that sign.
I see. You got homage to a couple of people that helped you with that. So tell us about them.
Angel Cycle Paint, of course, did the custom paint and aerographics, did the lettering and the depiction of Venus within the shroud.
Great. That's amazing. All right. So let me get this video rolling, and you can just kind of talk.
Okay, here we go. Indoor video. Again, 60s style chopper. One of the things Bonanza did probably to take away from a very nice styled frame was to put that horizontal seat on it. This seat is dropped, so this is a true hardtail now. The tripping on the license plate was actually a punched out license plate, the same way they do in the penitentiaries. A friend of mine, Brian Burns, you may know, I actually made the letters and stamped that license plate.
Wow.
There's hand engraving on both the chain guard.
Yeah, let's back up a hair.
And the kickstart. A lady by the name of Heather New out of Toronto does that hand engraving. I did the design. She applied it. And as you can see on the chain guard, I put a chain around the outer edge.
The level of detail is just extraordinary.
A couple other things you can pick up here is the exhaust. Part of the exhaust is from Mini Bike Man. Part of it is from an old scooter I had left. And the other part was fabricated. There's dual headlights. Came from Volkswagen vintage backup lights that Hella made. The air cleaner is actually a panhead, Harley panhead distributor cap that I formed into an air cleaner with a stainless clip.
There you can kind of get a glimpse.
There you see some of the engraving on the Kickstarter.
Yeah, amazing.
That's all hand done, believe it or not.
That is just incredible. It looks like the level of detail you would see in leather work.
And that was very typical on 60s choppers. Sometimes the whole bike, every piece of metal would be engraved. I did a few pieces, but you can see the amount of work that it took to do that. That is a Hager kickstart that all the lettering was removed from. Then it was fully polished. And then it was sent to the engraver.
Unreal.
The seat cradle, again, is something that I visualized on a chopper that I had seen, a Triumph chopper, where the seat cradle was formed out of metal, and just the central section is upholstered. On a mini bike in particular, you look for landscape when you're doing custom paint. And this allowed us more area to do some custom effect.
Oh,
In this case, the scallops with the spider webbing inside of those scallops. The seat is done in velour and vinyl by Phil Anderson in a 60 style diamond tuft. There's Venus. You can see her standing there.
Now it's hard to see, but you had told me earlier that she's actually wearing a bubble helmet.
That's the piece of metal that she is airbrushed on was welded inside the shroud to conceal the flywheel. So you do not see the flywheel at all.
Right, right. And you can see how that seat conforms.
The tank, some of you may wonder where that came from. I actually bought that out of Lithuania about 4 years ago. It came off of a vintage moped, and both sides of the tank were dished, which is another bikes.
You were saying that both sides were dished, which is a classic feature of those early custom bikes in the 60s and early 70s.
Scene that is airbrushed in the one side dish, as you can see.
Right. That's really amazing work. Oh, I'm sorry. I glitched us too far.
Okay. Here we're looking at some still shots. Again, the dual headlights, the Volkswagen backup lights. There's a helmet that's painted to match. Fold up foot pegs instead of the standard bar. Basically everything, even the sissy bar on this bike was leaned back further to align with the angle of the forks. The front forks themselves, we removed the bolts and made these one piece before they were chromed.
Here's a still shot.
So really not much that hasn't been touched. Here's a good shot of the exhaust, the dual stacks. It's a 1:2. Again, the front section is mini bike mans. The rest was kind of fabricated, and you can see the angle of the pipes, the sissy bar, and the front forks are all aligned to give you a nice balanced proportion.
Great symmetry there, yeah.
The springs were left on the sissy bar, but they're pseudo springs. It's a true hardtail now. The bottom of the sissy bar mounting tabs were sculptured, as well as the bottom of the sissy bar, which is typically an open, like pipe end, was capped before rechroming.
I think I have
all chrome hardware. Here we go.
Trying to find, Ed, your detail about the sissy
Well,
bar.
I'm talking a lot, but I think being able to look at it and pick out the details, will allow you to see the work that was done here. Again, there's the jug, fully exposed like a motor jug. Those are new old stock Carlisle double head Indian tires that originally would have came on this Bonanza. Of course, the rear tire is much larger than the front, but that's what came on this bike.
There's a good perspective of it right there.
There you go. Okay, outdoor video. That's a purple glass vintage lens I chose for the taillight. The engine is an HS40 lighted vintage Tecumseh. There's also an integrated bobbed rear fender that's attached to the seat cradle. It's a good shot of some of the detail of the engine. The paint itself is PPG ice blue pearl. There's spider webbing done inside of the scallops. That's a technique they used back in the day. You basically thicken up the paint and it spits out of the gun and creates that effect. some vintage blue grips. Of course, Bonanza polished kidney bean wheels.
There's that bobbed fender you were talking about.
There she sits.
This is really a nice perspective on the entire build, and you can really see the amount of work that you put into this, Ed. What actually got you involved with building custom mini bikes?
Well, I started as a hot rodder back in my teens, and I was influenced by my older brother to that respect. I kind of went from four-wheel, underfunded hot rods to motorcycles, and built 2 or 3 full-size custom motorcycles, and decided to give a smaller version a try just because of the time vested, the resources invested in doing full-size bikes. I built my first custom mini bike that actually ended up in a motorcycle show, ironically enough. And I've been doing it ever since. For me, the enjoyment is the build, not so much the curating and collecting as many of you do, but I enjoy the creating part. I lose sleep over some of this, but it's really enjoyable for me to bring in the right elements to a bike, the balance, proportion, flow. A lot of the building full-size motorcycles. I continue to build these, although I'm slowing down a bit, but still enjoy it as much as I used to.
All right, that was one heck of a project that you shared with us, Ed. I'm going to note we've lost Ed's video, but he's still with us on audio, so maybe the video will pick up before we close out. But any closing thoughts, Ed? I just want to again really thank you for being on the podcast.
Yeah, I love to share things with other mini bike enthusiasts. Certainly if you have any questions about anything, feel free to reach out. That being said, the one thing I want to leave you with really is just to let your emotions, direct your builds, whether they be stock restorations or customs. But, these small two-wheeled vehicles allow us the opportunity to really get creative. And I hope some of what I've done kind of triggers a creativity in you to do the same. So I appreciate Ben for inviting me and letting me share this bike with you. And good luck to all of you.
That is amazing advice. And so I want to thank everyone for viewing. And I want to again thank you, Ed, for being my special guest on the podcast.
Thanks, Ben.